Greg Launard here, ESPN Chattanooga. We are hanging out at AT&T Field, and we are visiting with Drew Mount, outfielder for the Chattanooga Lookouts. Thanks so much for being here, man. You are a native of Santa Clara, California, and you ended up going to JUCO in Santa Clara, and then you went to Kansas State. I have to know what made you want to, growing up in California, go to Manhattan, Kansas?
To be honest, I grew up in California my whole life, and I sort of wanted to experience something else.
Okay.
And I actually wanted to go to like the Midwest or the South. And my head coach in JUCO knew the pitching coach at K-State, and it all worked out, and I liked it there, so yeah.
How was Manhattan, Kansas? I've worked and lived in Manhattan, New York, but Manhattan, Kansas, I assume is a little different.
Yeah, the Little Apple, they call it.
Yeah.
I loved it. You know, a lot of nice people there.
Mm-hmm.
And ball flies there too, hitting wise. So
it's never a bad thing when you're a hitter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right.
So I had a fun time there.
That's awesome. So what do you like? What are some of the biggest differences between? I've never been to Kansas, so I can't talk, but I've been to California a couple of times. What's some of the biggest differences between California, Kansas, and now Chattanooga?
Well, from California to Kansas, just the amount of people. You know, I grew up in a big city, and you know, there's people everywhere. There's traffic everywhere. Kansas, all you got is green grass and some rolling hills, and it's very peaceful and less chaotic. So I'd say that's the biggest difference.
What about here in Chattanooga? How does that compare to other places you've been?
I like Chattanooga a lot. It's a little smaller than back home, but it's still like a city. So I think it's like the perfect mix of city and, you know, just chill.
Let's talk a little bit about baseball. What made you fall in love with this game?
I mean, I've been playing since I was 5 years old, so ever since I started playing farm, I wanted to become a professional baseball player.
And here you are.
Yep.
Is there who influenced you to want to play the game, or was it something that was just in you, or was it a parent, a sibling, somebody else?
Definitely my dad. I mean, when I was 5, my dad would always take me hitting. He would take me to baseball games. Actually, it was a funny story, I guess, before I can remember. When I was a little baby, the first baseball game I ever went to was actually a Reds game, but
really?
in Los Angeles. They were playing the Dodgers. So
okay.
Yeah, my dad always he loved baseball, and you know, he takes me out hitting and all that. So
do you guys still hit together? Does he still throw to you in the off season?
Yeah, he threw me BP. I think a couple off seasons ago. It's not as good as it used to be. He needs to work on his arm a little bit, but yeah, he'll still throw a little bit.
Very cool. All right, let's talk a little bit about dealing with adversity. That's part of baseball. It's a game of failure. We know that. But you had to deal with an injury last year. Tell me a little bit about that, and then how it was dealing with that adversity, missing the entire season.
Yeah, so spring training of 2022, I ruptured my patellar tendon, and it sucked because I felt really good, and I was hoping to go to AAA. You know, I was hoping, you know, that was going to be the year that, you know, could possibly make it to the bigs. So, and that was a big letdown. And patellar tendon, I mean, it's been about 16 months, so it's like worse than ACL. It takes a long time, and just being in Arizona and being away from the game for that long really sucks. But I just really had to stay positive and take each day by itself and not look too far ahead and look at the end goal, and focus on the little goals of, you know, bending my knee, gaining the strength back, doing all that. And the biggest thing is just staying positive, because, you know, when you're playing baseball your life and then all of a sudden you go a year without it, it's easy to get down on yourself, and it can sort of snowball from there. So just stayed positive and worked hard and knew I would come back eventually.
One of your biggest tools is a sledgehammer. I hear you do something with a sledgehammer in terms of a workout. Tell me a little bit about that and what it all entails with the sledgehammer and where that started.
Yeah, so when I was playing baseball in high school, we would have our alumni game, and one of the alumni would swing a sledgehammer in the on-deck circle. I was like, dang, that's pretty cool. So I went to JUCO. I was like, you know what, I'm going to go buy a sledgehammer. So I went on Craigslist, bought a sledgehammer for like $5, same one I still use. And I just enjoyed swinging in the on-deck circle. There's no like science or anything behind it. I just enjoy swinging it. So yeah.
Pretty cool. And I don't know if I can get past the fact that you went on Craigslist to buy a sledgehammer and not like just go down to your local hardware or like somewhere else. Like there's a bunch of like maybe Facebook Marketplace. I don't know if that was a thing back then.
Yeah, I mean, I was in junior college. I didn't have a lot of money, so I went on Craigslist. I also the guy gave me a pickaxe too, which I didn't want, but he said I had to take it. So
you throw it in there, it's free, you know, $5, you can't go wrong with it. All right, so when it comes to baseball, we talked about how you fell in love with the game, but what does the game mean to you?
I mean, like I said, ever since I've been little, I've been wanting to play baseball, and really, I just enjoy coming to the park every day. I enjoy being outside. I love being with the guys in the locker room, and I just love competing. So all that combined, I just, you know, it makes every day fun, and yeah, I just love competing. And
what is your best? What do you feel like is your best attribute as a player?
I feel like the energy I bring. You know, I'm a pretty positive guy and a little crazy sometimes, and you know, I just play hard, so I feel like the energy I can bring to the clubhouse, you know, sort of wears on everyone, or not wears on everyone, but rubs off, so everyone gets a little more energized.
Affects everybody.
Yeah, that's the right word.
So is it just in your play, or is it are you very vocal in terms of being, you know, a little bit crazy?
I wouldn't say I'm super vocal. I try to more lead just, you know, by how I play, always run the bases hard and, you know, do everything 100%. Try to get that extra bag, stuff like that. All
right, so being here in Chattanooga, we talked a little bit about some of the things you like. Tell me a little bit more about what are some of the things that you like most about being here in Chattanooga in this city?
I like Chattanooga a lot. It's like I said, it's like you get that city feel, but it's also, you know, more country too, and like it's not a huge city, and it's very green here. And yeah, I like the people here. People are nice. And I just feel like it's good vibes over here.
It is definitely good vibes out here. All right, last one for you, Drew. If you were talking to a group of kids right now, a group of baseball players, even softball players even, what would be some advice that you would give them?
Just work your butt off. You know, as a hitter, I'll speak for the hitters here. If you want to be a good hitter, you got to hit a lot. You know, I remember in JUCO, we had lights in our cage, you know, on the weekends. Instead of going out and doing stuff, I'd go to the cage, turn on the lights, and just hit till like midnight or sometimes like 2 in the morning. So the biggest thing, if you're a hitter, you got to hit. If you want to be a better hitter, hit as much as you can. Hit before practice, hit after practice, and yeah, just work your butt off, and yeah.
It's all about those repetitions, right?
Yep.
That's it. Hitting the round ball with a round bat is the hardest thing you can possibly do in sports. Again, Drew Mounts is our guest. He's an outfielder for the Lookouts. See him out here at AT&T Field. Again, I'm Greg Larnard. This has been ESPN Chattanooga Conversations, ESPNChattanooga.com, and the ESPN Chattanooga mobile app. Thanks, Drew.
Thanks for having me.